Hello everybody, I am working on updating. So I love Rifts, and this is one of my favorite games of all time. I have long wanted and been working on a automatic role-playing, automatic character sheet. And lo and behold, they've come out with something nicer and much more complete than what I've been working on. But it's still missing a few things, and so I thought I would add those to it. So I highly recommend you buy this. It's only $6. But once you buy it, you should know that you can also insert your own Excel formulas and programs in here. So normally, this OCC and race are not populated. And also these IQ buttons, in order to fill them out, you have to roll your dice and copy and paste them over here, which is not bad. But what I wanted to do was to build up a library of all of my books that I had so far, so that I could automatically roll characters just by selecting the character class in that. So as you can see here, I have this little list where I can select, this is not a real character, calibration stuff, but I can select, say, a Cyber Knight who is human. All right, and then I go over to my main window, and here I have a pre-made Cyber Knight with all of their stats, and because the sheet already auto-populates everything based on these stats that you have here, you can save a whole lot of work. So I've built a lot of features into this. The first thing is I tell this to equal a named value, IQ total. That is the same cell as this right here, IQ total. And this has a rather complex formula in it, but it's basic to what you understand in the system. If the final result of your roll, which is, let's start at the very beginning. All right, this here is the sum of your roll from your RCC plus the sum of your roll from any bonuses from your OCC. If that happens to be higher than 15, then it will add in, well, then it asks another question. If this is higher than 15, is this first dice you roll after also 6? If it is, then the result is the sum of all three of these plus any bonuses you might have. If it isn't, and the roll is, if it's greater than 15, and this is less than 6, then it's just the sum of these two. Otherwise, it's just this and this. So it actually comes out pretty handy. Let me roll a few times. That would be in the formulas. Calculate now. So here's one where it was 16 and 5, which is 21. Let's go ahead and roll a couple more times, see what we got. Let's see if we can't get that combo where we've got, there we go. 19 and 6 plus 2 is 27. So total 19 plus 6 is 25. 6 plus 2 is 27. So I've also been working on, had working in the past before I lost one of my forms, added a feature to where I can choose if my result here, my total, is less than the class's minimum, then I just use the class's minimum. And that's fine. So the nifty thing, though, is suppose I have a character class that I want to, or a racial character class I want to add from one of my books. So I just click on this Add New RCC. I type, well, first, let me clarify here. So my racial character classes are right here. Right now I have Elven, Human, and Monkey Boy Soldier for the fun of it. Okay, so add new race. Let us pick an Ursa warrior. Pretty sweet. All right, so the IQ is, first let's type in the name. Tab, IQ. And this is what it will save me in the future. Once I've entered this once, in the future, if I care to run this again, then it will be instantaneous. Whereas now it is a search. All right, 1 second. Let me pause while I find it. There we go. All right, so IQ 2d6 plus nothing. And because it's nothing, I don't have to enter it in there. My code will automatically update that. All right, what do we got here? 2, 6. I have to go through and adjust my tab stops here. Okay, IQ 2d6, ME is 2d6, and MA is 2d6. Physical strength is 5d6. Physical prowess is 3d6. Physical endurance is 4d6. Make sure I don't miss any bonuses. Okay, these are straight. The reason I have these two boxes here is that it will take the first one, which is the number of faces of a number of dice you have, and do a random number between that and the number of dice times their highest amount that they can give you. Okay, so beauty is 2d6. And speed is 46, and then it has a special stat, which I'm not really interested in building those in at this point. Okay, so I hit add RDC. It should pop me over. It should be done by now. It is. There's my Ursa Warrior. Okay, so that goes through a code, which I will pull up for you to see. You have to add your developer tab, which is easy to do. I may do a tutorial on that. So let's go down here to add RCC. This is the form I created. All right, so it creates a bunch of variables to store those faces temporarily. Then I set the worksheet to this worksheet, worksheets.rcc list. And before I do anything, I select that sheet, so everything that happens on that sheet. So I set that worksheet to that. I set the table to the table RCC, which is my name of this table. If I click the whole thing, it will, yeah. But for the sake of quickness, I'm just going to leave it there. So I'm going to have to see if this is currently, 1 second. Okay. So what it does is it takes that table and adds a row, and each range is equivalent to these locations. And then once it's done, it hides the form, it sorts the list, deletes any blank rows, so if somebody filled in a blank row, it will get rid of it. Any clicks with everything empty, we'll get rid of. And then it will select back to the autoroll sheet, which is what I use as my home sheet. Okay, so anytime I do that, I can add it. If I want to delete one, I can just come here and get that. Like delete it, and it's good. So the way that these guys update is that they are a validated list, and the list source is indirect, which is important. That's the command that lets you reference this without having to worry about it changing while you're updating. Table RCC, column RCC. So it automatically auto-populates with whatever is in the column named RCC. Caution about changing these, I don't recommend it. Alright, so now I've got that guy added. If I want to add a new OCC, there's a few more things. It's not often you see a multiplier, but they are there for a point. So if you got your dice rolls, 3d6, whatever it is, bonus, and minimum stat. So when you add those, I'll add a blank one just to kind of demonstrate. I don't know if you'll be able to see it happening if I'm on this sheet. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and run it again on this sheet, but I will run it from the browser window so you can see it. Debug. Okay, so now you'll see it pop up blank row, fills out all the ranges, then it sorts it, then it pops back in, and it deleted the blank row, and there you go. So yep, so that's it for now. I'm also going to create a skill list. It will have a drop-down list for whether the skill, to add the skill as, say, a communication skill or any of the other ones, or custom skills that you want to add. So they're already robust list of skills. Already robust list of skills here in the data, which is intense and thorough, and I thoroughly appreciate it. It'll do the same thing, but instead of how they have it on their skills list, only let's set this to acupuncture, why not? You'd be able to select your character class and whether it has a bonus. So you basically select a skill here, and then you select its category off screen. So I'd put this guy over a little bit and have my OC skills and my OCC related skills, a little box next to each one, so I could select whether it's communication, and then it would refer to my table on the OCCs for that character class and look and see what the bonus is using a VLOOKUP function. So if it's okay, I'd love to ask the moderators, is it okay if I share my coding and how this is working? Because I think it could really enhance how this works. It may even work well for your personal programs, but yeah, there's a lot of steps to it, but it's really cool. So for everybody else, just real quick thing here. What I really wanted to do for this was go in and do a validated list for it, but because it's protected, which I agree with, that's good planning, I am not able to do this directly, but I can tell it to equal this cell. So anytime I update my autoroll form, it will then update this as well and this as well. So yep, it's the good stuff. I think I will insert one with a blank first cell just to make sure it's there. But yeah, there's other stuff to be built in here, but I put a couple of hours into this and it was good fun. All right. Well, ciao, and I'll talk to you later.